Hello, my loves. It's been a while since I've been able to do an episode. I've been pretty sick lately, dealing with some health issues. I've actually been dealing with health issues for a long time, but they're just really exacerbated right now. So I'm trying to take care of it, okay? So I don't end up like Fredward over here. I mean, he really doesn't have it that bad though. I spoil him rotten, don't I? Yes, darling. I wanted to do tonight's episode on missing persons. And there's one case in particular that tickled my fancy. Like, I really need to know what the fuck happened. Of course, it's an unsolved case, so we probably won't know, we won't find out what happened, but I want to know some details, and I want to share them with you. So, stay tuned. Not that I was going to cut to a break or anything. I'm not. I'm here, still here. Oh, before I get started, I wanted to mention, okay, and I know I've mentioned this before, but Fred Word is wearing a one-of-a-kind, the Red Mistress Zombie Girl t-shirt that you can find on my website, which I will put in the bio at the end of the video. So you go to my website and then go to the merch store and you can check out all the stuff that I have. I have Amber Ray stuff, like merchandise, if you're a fan of my music, acting, modeling, any of the other stuff I do, Amber Ray Aria, you'll find that on the website. And then I also have the horror projects, which is the Red Mistress, which is this channel here. So I have some horror merch and stuff like that too. So check it out, because it's all pretty cool. I've added some new stuff, some really, really, really cute stuff. My own designs that I'm very proud of, so at least go and check it out. I would love for you to just take a look. All right, let's get to it. This is the disappearance of Marvin Clark, Marvin Alvin Clark. He was born 1852 and he disappeared October 30th of 1926. He was an American man who disappeared under very mysterious circumstances. While en route to visit his daughter in Portland, Oregon during the Halloween weekend in 1926, Clark's case has the distinction of being the oldest active missing person case in the United States. It is literally the oldest case. They have not solved it. From 1926, just vanished, literally. How freaky is that? So on October 30th, 1926, Clark departed his home in Tigard, Oregon, to meet his daughter in downtown Portland. He never arrived to meet his daughter, and none of his family made contact with him that day. Some witnesses claim to have seen Clark at a bus terminal in Portland that day, dressed in a dark suit and slacks. But over a week later, on November 9th, Clark's wife, Mary, received a postcard from Bellingham, Washington, apparently sent from her husband. Several witnesses in the area claim to have seen him there between November 2nd and 3rd. In 1986, a John Doe was discovered in a wooded area between Portland and Tigard. These remains were estimated to have been between 35 and 55 years old at the time of the death, and several mementos from the late 19th and early 20th centuries were discovered along with the body, leading the detectives to suspect that the remains were possibly that of Clark's. Reports of the potential connection made national headlines in 2011. However, in 2018, it was determined through DNA testing that these remains were not those of Marvin Clark. As of 2023, his whereabouts still remain unknown. Fredward. That is fucking terrifying. This guy literally fucking vanished without a trace. We cannot find him. He's the oldest missing person. I mean, this is the oldest missing person case in the United States, and we still don't have, we're not even like one step closer to finding out what happened. It's very sad. Very, very sad. So a little bit about the background. According to the U.S. Census records, Marvin Clark was born circa 1852 in Marion County, Iowa. Both of Clark's parents were from New York. Clark moved to Oregon with his wife Mary as early as 1910, according to the 1910 census. He resided in the community of Holbrook. Clark was at one time the town marshal of Linton, a district that would later become part of Portland. The disappearance. All right. On October 30th, 1926, Clark left his home in Tigard around 1 p.m. to visit his daughter, Mrs. Sidney McDougall, who was a resident and manager of the Hereford Hotel at 735 Hoyt Street in Northwest Portland. I don't know if that place is still there or not. I think it is. The initial report of Clark's disappearance on November 6, 1926 by the Morning Oregonian stated that he had embarked to Portland by stagecoach. Through a report published the following week said he had traveled by bus. Is that the same thing? I don't know. I should have looked that up. I don't know if that's the same thing or not. This was the last reported sighting of Clark. According to the newspaper reports, Clark suffered from paralysis and could not properly use his right arm. He also walked with a limp, a distinction that police hope would help elicit sightings of him. His daughter offered a $100 reward for information leading to his discovery. And you know as well as I do that back in that time, $100 was some motherfucking cha-ching, right? Yeah. On November 9th, the Bellingham Herald, a newspaper in Bellingham, Washington, reported that Clark's wife, Mary, had received a disconnected postcard reportedly written by her husband that was postmarked in Bellingham, and that there had been witnesses who saw Clark at 2 hotels the area on November 2nd and 3rd in that area. The news article read, "The letter indicated that the aged man's mind is wandering as it was badly jumbled despite the fact that Clark is highly educated, being a graduate of 2 universities, which is a great accomplishment back then. Most of them didn't even go to school unless they were specifically going to be a doctor or a lawyer, such and such." So that's incredible. 1986 discovery of John Doe. We'll get into that. In 1986, nearly 60 years after Clark's disappearance, loggers discovered a nearly complete human skeleton would more than likely look a lot like Fredward. They found the human skeleton in the woods between Tigard and Portland. Although no identification could be found with the body, in 1888, Liberty Head nickel, a 1919 penny, a pocket watch, leather shoes, and a Fraternal Order of Eagles pocket knife and 4 tokens with the inscription D and P were found near the body. A .38 revolver and a spent shell were also found near the remains. A pair of wire-rimmed glasses were also discovered. Upon an autopsy, State Medical Examiner Dr. Karen Gunson observed a bullet hole in the man's skull. Fredward. This doesn't look good, and effectively ruled the death a suicide. The estimated age of John Doe was 35 to 55 years old, as said earlier. Several days after the discovery, Clark's granddaughter, Dorothy Willoughby, came forward suspecting that John Doe may have been her missing grandfather, but a positive identification could not be made at the time. Willoughby died in 1991. And it's very sad because she never got the clarification whether it was or was not her grandfather. Subsequent developments. So this is going to tell us what the F is up right now. In 2011, Dr. Nikki Vance of the Oregon State Medical Examiner's Office revisited Clark's missing person file. And forensic pathologists were able to retrieve sufficient DNA from the skeletal remains of the John Doe, which had remained in storage since its 1986 discovery. That's crazy. He went missing in 1926, and this body, it may or may not be him, was discovered in 1986. So 60 years later, and this body was put into storage. In a 2014 article published by the Oregonian, it was stated that the medical examiners were unable to locate maternal descendants of Clark in order to make a positive identification. They're looking for a maternal links advance, someone on his mother's side, and following that lineage to shore it up. There's an association there, but it's not strong at this point. In 2018, Coin TV reported that Pam Knowles, a great-great-granddaughter of Clark, provided DNA samples along with her son to determine whether or not the remains of the John Doe were in fact Clark's. These DNA samples were sent to the University of North Texas for comparison, whereupon it was determined that the remains were not those of Clark. So here we have another body, and it is still not Marvin Clark. Where the hell did this guy go? What the fuck happened? You know, he just, poof, gone. Crazy. It's crazy to me, okay? And very sad for the family. You know, they never had fucking closure. Never. Okay, let's see here. As of 2018, the identity of the John Doe's remains is unknown. So they don't even know who that motherfucker is either. The DNA samples provided by Knowles and her son remain on file with the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System database for potential future comparison. It's crazy. A county police officer stated if at any point in the future bones are sent in and it's Marvin, we will get a positive identification. And who's to say he won't get found by a hunter or a landscaper or developer or something like that happens. So there's a chance that he could be found. I really do like that they're trying to instill us with a little bit of hope. Yeah, it's crazy. This guy has been missing since 1926. Halloween weekend, he went to go visit his daughter. He never made it there. He's never been seen again. There's literally no traces what happened to him. Nothing. Finito. He's gone. Right, February? How did this happen? Huh? So, yeah. I was very interested in this case, and I still am. Like, I want to know more. I want to know everything there is to know. Honestly, what I read is basically the gist. There's not a whole lot more information to this case, but I know it is still open and very active, and yeah, I really hope, honestly, deep down, that they can find something, you know. I did read something earlier that was super sad. When I was picking the topic for tonight's episode, I had read that there's about 2,300 missing children. Children go missing, 2,300 of them, every single day in the United States. That fucking blew my mind. 2,300 missing children every single day in our country. It's crazy to me. There has been a lot of cases where the person has been missing for 10 years, 2 years, 25 years, 30-something years, and they're found and actually alive and well. And as much as I hate the fact that they were either kidnapped or whatever, I like the fact that they were found and they were okay. Some of them do just walk off and go live their life somewhere else due to whatever, you know, if there was family issues or if they had some kind of debt or medical problems, you never know what it is. They just disappear. But yeah, just the word disappear alone to me is fucking creepy, especially when anybody just vanishes without a trace. So, honorable mentions, Amelia Earhart. Where did that bitch go? Where the hell did she go? That still just boggles my mind. Anytime that anything comes up on Amelia Earhart, I'm like into it all over again. You know, I'm researching like what the hell happened to her. You know, she went on this flight and she had some issues with the plane or whatever, and she went down kind of around the Bermuda Triangle, which, ooh, don't get me started on that. That was a whole other ball of wax. We should totally do an episode on Bermuda Triangle. That's probably a good idea, because that is also weird and creepy, and I love that. You know that I love that shit. There's a lot of people that have gone missing that are not found. There's like 5 other cases, and I cannot remember their names because I just glanced over it today for the first time, but I may do an episode on these 5 people in our country that more recently have gone missing, and they're considered to be famous missing people cases because the whole country kind of knows about them. So I wouldn't mind doing a whole episode on those 5 people. Let me know in the comments if you have something sort of pertaining to this, like missing persons case or just like an unsolved mystery type of thing. Let me know in the comments if you have one, and I will definitely research up on it and we could possibly do an episode on it. Let me know also what you think about Marvin Allen Clark. What happened to this guy? Do you have any ideas? Do you have any thoughts? Anything? Like, it's just crazy, you know? Went to go visit his daughter for Halloween weekend, and in the same state even, and he's just gone. We have nothing. Nothing telling us where this man went, what happened to him, where he is now. Well, he's more than likely dead now, but what was he doing the whole time? Was he murdered? Did he end his own life? We don't know. There's so many theories out there, but we don't know. We don't have any proof of anything, so that just leaves us, leaves our wheels turning and shit. Also, I'll say this again, I've been saying this at the end of my episodes, the last 2 or 3 episodes or so. Check my website out. I said that at the beginning too, I just realized that. Check the website out. We added new merch. If you like the channel, you like the content that I put out on here, please support it by maybe possibly getting yourself a Red Mistress t-shirt or sweatshirt, or there's lots of stuff. There's buttons, there's beer or drink koozies, there is bookmarks, posters, there's all kinds of things, a price range, so that, if you can't afford a $20 t-shirt or $40 hoodie or whatever, then maybe you can get something smaller like a pin, poster, anything like that. Just check it out. I do want to say this too, there's free shipping on everything all the time. It's included right into your price, so you never have to worry about that. So I'll make sure to put it underneath this video, and it is Sunday night, the start of a new week, and I wanted to wish you all a happy, healthy week. Make sure you take it easy, but also make sure you get your shit done. We're working here. Hell yeah. I have, for those of you that are a fan of my music, Amber Ray, I have my first album coming out on September 7th, this Thursday. It's called Chaotic Love. So you can look me up on YouTube. It's Amber Ray Aria, A-R-I-A. You can look me up on there. I'm also on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Pandora. You can basically find me anywhere. TikTok, anywhere. Let me know if you are a fan of the music. Just message me, or I should say comment. I don't think you can message on YouTube, but yeah, check out all the stuff I have to offer. And I hope you liked tonight's episode. If you have an idea for next week's episode, let me know, because I love interacting with the people that are watching, just because it helps give me ideas too. Like, I have a lot of ideas, and I like to write my own scary stuff. Frederick, you know that. I'm actually working on a short horror film called The Maid. It's going to be a little while before that comes out, but we are actively working on it, and I can't wait. It'll be like a 20-minute film. I'm actually acting in it. I directed it. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantabulous, I promise. Anyway, I suppose I should end on that note, and I hope you all have a blessed week, and yeah, good night.